think model it, be clear and boundaried. It's actually not up for negotiation, this bit.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the practice, and I hope you all do, this is how it's got to work.
Yeah. This is in your contract.
This is, yeah.
And I said this to Kate when I met with her. I ask every person, I explain this is how the practice runs, and I ask every person I interviewed, can you see any problems with that? And if people say, oh, that sounds a bit rigid, well, then have a think about if this is the right place for you.
Reiterate that.
So if you're saying, yes, I can work with that, then my expectation is that if you've said yes and you've signed a contract to that effect, that you will then go ahead and do precisely that. So if that's not happening...
That's where it starts to get to be a clinical issue, because the boundary, you agree the boundary and then it slips. That's something to take to supervision. I think for them. I really do. Because, that's the whole point about having a boundary. It's the line in the sand, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you don't say, oh, well, I'll move it a bit now.
Yeah, I think some of it might be down to training, because I think some of the people that struggle with it more are people that have not done psychodynamic training.
What are you trying to say, Laura?
I'm not trying to say anything, Judith. I'm being explicit.
You are being explicit. I'm glad you're listening.
I find, particularly those that have done person-centred training, are hopeless with the time boundary.
What about CBT? I've got my hand up. No, CBT is quite boundaried. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think, joking aside, I think there is something in that. I really do. I think it can get... It's the bit where it can just get a bit woolly.
Yeah.
We're being so unconditionally regarding and non-judgmental that
anything goes.
Boundaries feel like a complete intrusion, when of course they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's and if knowing that that's how you feel, if you've chosen to work in this environment, then you need to manage that conflict.
Yeah.
I'm inviting you all to not bring that conflict within the practice, but you take it to supervision. Cause
definitely.
It's not fair for that to end up inside the walls. It needs to be dealt with out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the phrase is, it's not negotiable.
Yeah.
Some things are. This one isn't.
Something are. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's Kate.
Yeah.
Stephen's the other one that's really got on my wick.
Is he about to depart?
He is about to depart.
Okay.
I just thought I'd fill you in on some of the stuff around his departure, because it's just it's unnerved me a little bit. And I know I come at this from a very precise angle, both in training and personally.
You like that word, don't you?
What?
Precise.
Precise.
I said particularly precise my last time.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll own it.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely own it.
Why not?
There's a family memory thing that apparently I must have only have been about 4, probably less than 4, and I had this little makeshift washing line with baby clothes and things on it, and apparently Mum's neighbour saw me putting this stuff on the washing line and said, there's trouble being stored up there. So,
had you done it really neatly?
Yeah, and I still do.
That reminds me of my cousin years ago when we were in Mexico, and everything was colour coded. It started off with black, like socks and things like that, and then it went to pastels and white. And I just said, oh, Vivian, you and I need to have a chat. But on the other hand, I really liked it as well. Yeah. Well, yes, go on then.
So, Stephen, he said it used to have 5 nights, then it went down to 4, then 3, and so now we're at the stage where there was 2, and he said to me, I want to cut down to 1 because the work in Peterborough is really kicking off.
And that's where he lives.
That's where he lives. So he said, I prefer this practice because it's more boundaried, I know where I am. But I'm getting more and more inquiries for Peterborough, so I'm going to have to make that call. I understand that.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to get clients, this Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to get them to all move into one night. So he told me which night it was he was keeping and which night he was getting rid of. By the Friday, that had switched to the other way around.
Okay.
So he'd clearly, in my mind, he'd clearly not actually taken it to supervision, done the thinking for weeks, like I would. Why can't everybody be like me?
I think if they were professional, it would be a lot easier, to be honest.
Well, yes, I don't mean in every single respect.
No.
But yeah, to my mind, he'd not done the thinking first, he'd not gone into supervision with it, he'd not done the post-supervision thinking and then spoken to the clients about it. Now, in my mind, ethically, that's what we should all be working towards. He'd clearly not done that because he switched it 2 days later. A week later, he then emailed me again and said, actually, can I go back to my original plan? And I was so peed off, and I'd already offered it to Sonali.
Yeah.
And so I sat and thought about it and thought, what would Judith say? What would Wendy say? What would Miss say? Because they were go-to. And all of you said, you've offered it to Sonali. It's tough. So I emailed him back and said, unfortunately, it's been offered to somebody else, but I should know within a couple of weeks if it could be done.
If they want.
Knowing full well that would probably mean him saying he was going to leave.
Yeah.
Which he did. So he waited till I'm on holiday and then he emails to tell me that he's leaving. Of course he did. In terms of the practice, he organises the peer support group that we run. So in our initial contracting, we suggest to them that they have a peer arrangement.
Yes.
It's worked very well for me and Mish over the years, and so we recommend that they do that. Stephen came up with the idea of having a group instead of one-to-ones.
Yeah.
So, okay, try it, do it. So some people do a group, some people don't do it at all, or have a peer outside, whatever. And I said to him, what do you want to do about the peer meeting? Now, at this point, he was going to be carrying on with one night for clients, and he said some of them were long-term, so he didn't know how long it was going to be. So then all of a sudden I'm hearing he's leaving and they're all finishing.
Yeah.
So how long-term are we talking?
Okay.
What sort of endings are they getting?
And are they ending?
Well, it transpires that 2 of them are going to Peterborough instead.
Okay.
Anybody that doesn't want to go to Peterborough
Is ending.
Is ending. But again, it's like how much thinking has gone into it.
Yeah.
So with the peer group, I said to him, let's have a think together about what we do. And I would suggest, but let's think about it, I would suggest that you talk to either Shireen or Tracy in terms of taking it on, because they're the 2 that have been here the longest and are probably most committed to the group. And he's told me that he's had a word with Louise, and Louise has very kindly offered to take it on. So that's pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because not only has he not done what we talked about, he's not asked for my opinion on it, and she's the one person that I would not have wanted to have done it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether to tackle that or just leave it for it to burn itself out, because if she's running it, it'll probably die a death.
When is he leaving?
24th.
Not long. I think I'd be inclined to leave it. You know, fight the battles that you've got to fight. And as you say, if she has said that she will do it, it's an agreement between the 2 of them, and you can just say, well, you know, what have you decided to do, Louise? How's it going? Or nothing. Just wait for it to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I would give her enough rope in this one, because you've got enough to contend with without getting into snippy exchanges when you don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.